is the Vintage RPG Podcast, your source for the best in classic and contemporary RPGs. With your hosts, Hambone and Stu.
Welcome to the RPG Podcast, coming at you again from the clubhouse hidden somewhere in the swamps of New Jersey. I'm John Hambone McGuire, and with me, as always, is the founder and publisher of Unwinnable. He says if you got kids in the car, put them away, because we're talking about the secret origins of Santa Claus, Stu Horvath.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we are. Though probably not the one that anybody thinks.
Hey, man, it's better safe than sorry, especially if you got kids in the car.
True.
We ain't going to be the ones to do that. We're not going to be responsible for your child's therapy bill, guys. We're playing it cool. We're playing it safe, especially on the last episode of 2025. So this is the last new episode of 2025. We'll be back in 2026 with more fun stuff and more cool topics. Today, though, here comes Santa Claus.
So on December 6th, I've been reading, The British Library has this great series, Tales of the Weird. I got hip to it by folks in the Discord. It's like a monthly anthology series where they just put out tons and tons of obscure horror and weird literature. And it's great. They are brightly colored. Each one is like one color with like an ink drawing on top. They're just really addictive.
Yeah, the British Library crushes it, man.
Yeah. So over the course of all these years that they've been doing this, I think it's 5 now, they've done 4 anthologies dedicated to ghost stories for Christmas. Leading up to the holiday, I was just like, the holiday season, I was just like, I'm going to read all 4 of those books. I just finished the second one. And then I was just sort of like, do I have any other weird stuff that's Christmas related that I could throw on the pile? And I do. I got a ton of stuff. But I was looking at my Arkham House collection. It's funny, Arkham House was founded by August Derleth and Donald Wandry to make sure that Lovecraft stayed in print. And then it sort of became August Derleth's sort of vanity press where he made sure that he stayed in print. And he made sure that a lot of pulp, weird, and horror writers got their first hardcovers. Ray Bradbury's first hardcover book came out through Arkham House, Fritz Lieber. There's a lot of great stuff. But most of it's like fantasy, horror, science fiction, except for one book called Roads by Seabury Quinn, which is about Santa Claus.
Wow. All right. So, like, first off, shocking me here, I did not realize that Arkham House put out the first Ray Bradbury.
Yeah, Dark Carnival. I actually, this year, scored a copy of that, which I never thought I would be able to own. And it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. All right. But go on. Sorry.
So Roads is by Seabury Quinn. During the pulp era, I think that he was maybe the most read pulp writer. Probably most famous for his occult detective, Jules de Grandin. Kind of a hack. They're mostly all right. Like, they fill pages, certainly.
Right.
And like I kind of say that with fondness. I like August Derleth, and he was a bit of a hack, too.
Yeah. When we say hack, more times than not, we mean it very complimentary.
I mean, I come from journalism where a hack is a guy who does his job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just say not one of the very best of the pulpsters, but a very popular one at the time, who is generally seen, I think, to have aged poorly. The de Grandin stories aren't that great. His non-de Grandin stories are better. I don't know what to think of Roads. It is easily one. Okay, so it's not it is definitely entertaining. I was not bored, but it is sort of deeply stupid.
Okay,
in the best possible way. I don't know. Okay, so I'm just gonna spoil the heck out of all of it. It is the story of Santa Claus. It's his secret origin. Now, just to give you a sense of, like, Virgil Finlay provided illustrations. Virgil Finlay is like the king of pulp illustrators. He did the original cover to The Outsider and Others, the first Arkham House book, which is sort of it's the first collection of Lovecraft's work. It's a gorgeous cover. He's sort of the stipple style artist. Stephen Fabian clearly comes right out of this style, and a lot of other pulp artists. Virgil Finlay is a foundational pulp talent. So he does the illustrations for this. And while it is the secret origin of Santa Claus, it is also a pulp story. So keep that in mind as I navigate you through the high points. It's split into three parts. I am not entirely sure why it's called Roads. I guess it's sort of like the roads of like. I mean, the first one is. Do they all start on a road? I guess. I guess they all do involve encounters on roads, and I guess there's a larger metaphor there for the path somebody takes. The twisting paths of life or something.
Long and winding road, which I won't sing at all because it's by Michael Jackson's estate. But go on.
So the first part is called The Road to Bethlehem. And we are introduced to a gladiator
Oh boy.
named Claudius, who was recently in the employ of King Herod, who was running the Judea at the time. And Claudius was a champion gladiator who has since retired. His term of service had ended, and he's got a whole big bag of gold, and he wants to go back to his homeland. You want to hazard a guess where his homeland is, Hambone?
Is it the North Pole?
No, you're close. No, he's a Northlander. He's a Viking.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Now,
wait.
Go ahead.
Yeah, nah, you go on.
Now, when I was reading this, I was like, wait a minute, they had Vikings before Christ?
They do now.
Well, and he's like very much like he's a Viking, like a 13th century Viking as imagined by a 20th century writer. So he's Thor this, that, Odin, yes, like all of that, like I want to ride with the Valkyries. Like that is like how he is characterized. And it really like I immediately was just like, oh my God, what do I do? I have to tell you, I read this on December 6th on a lark. We were away in Pennsylvania doing Christmas stuff with the family. And I was just like, I'm going to bring this dumb book. And December 6th is the feast day. It's St. Nicholas Day. Like,
so how apropos.
I literally read this on Santa Claus Day. And then I learned that Santa Claus is a Viking. I was so aggravated by like the way he's talking. And I was just like, surely, like, I just think of Vikings and Odinism and worship of Thor, all that stuff. I think of that as a later thing, but I looked it up and there are attested sources that there was an Odin-like figure worshipped in Germania as early as 2 centuries before Christ. So while his presentation is anachronistic, it is actually possible that there would be a Northman of that kind of like vibe wandering around the Holy Land in the service of King Herod as a gladiator. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
It lacks all of the subtlety. I feel like you come to like it's fan fiction. This is fan fiction. Seabury Quinn was getting out this story and he was just doing it it's like it just defies like okay, so he's a freaking gladiator. All the Romans call him Claudius because they just can't handle his real northern name, which is Klaus. And I guess I'm a Roman too, so we're gonna call him Claudius.
Oh boy. I feel like I know where this is going, but go on.
So he's excited. He's going home and he goes through a town and he hears a woman crying and he's just like, well, what's this all about? And he goes in and he finds out that like soldiers had come and killed her son because, King Herod had ordered all of the firstborn male children under his rule to be killed because he had heard a prophecy that there was a king of the Jews and he thought, well, that guy's going to come for my throne, not realizing that it was sort of like a metaphorical spiritual thing and not like an actual king. So, Herod is having kids killed and Claudius is like, well, that's messed up. I just used to work for that guy. And so he goes a little bit further down the road and he encounters a family who's at sword point by a phalanx of Herod's soldiers. And he intervenes because they're going to take the baby boy and he knows what's going to happen and he can't handle it. So he proceeds to take his sword and his axe and carve a bloody swath through the soldiers in honestly one of the most bloody combat sequences I have ever read in Pulp Fiction. Conan would blush.
Holy crap. So, God, like maybe everything's within 5 years. But I say like 2, 3, 4 years ago, there was a movie with David Harbour called Violent Night. Where he goes to a house that like a bunch of like people broke into to get like some dude who had a thing, and the kid's like, "Help me, Santa Claus!" And Santa Claus like shows up like on Santa Claus's route and goes sick house on these like mercenaries. Like absolutely. I mean, it's called Violent Night for a reason. They don't pull punches in it. But like there's this whole sequence where like they talk about how like, you know, back in the day like Santa was a Viking, and I was like, back then I was like, I guess that's a stretch, but like, okay, it came from somewhere.
I mean, maybe.
feels right, but go on.
Let me see if I can find the okay. Neither shield nor mail could stop it, for the axe blade sheared through both as if it had been parchment, and the axe edge fell upon the Dekarch's neck, where neck and shoulder join, and cut through bone and muscle, and cleaving on bit deep into the Dekarch's breast until it split his very heart in two. And as the oak tree falls when fire from heaven blasts it, so fell the soldier of King Herod in the dust at Klaus's feet, and lay there quivering and lifeless. Like, Jesus!
Oh wow, yeah.
Like, you know, like what am I reading? So, and then he does a little dance. He's so excited that he slaughtered all these guys that he like he's in his battle rage, and he's just like waving his sword and his axe in the air,
doing a Fortnite dance.
Yeah. And then eventually he calms down, and he's just like Joseph is like, "Thank you so much, and this is my wife Mary," and he's like, "Can I see the baby?" And Mary holds up the baby, who is Jesus. And
of course,
like you can see it a mile away.
Yeah.
But then what I didn't expect was to have Jesus, the baby, telepathically communicate with Klaus, thanking him for his service and risking his life to save the babies with brutal violence. So the
Son of God just gonna hand wave the commandments. It's fine. Yeah. Thou shalt not kill. But it's cool this time. You get a pass.
Yeah. And he rewards him with immortality. And Klaus is actually like, "No, I don't want to be immortal. I want to go to Valhalla, you know, and serve Odin and whatever." And the baby's like, no. Long after Odin is forgotten, you will be more famous and beloved. And Klaus is like, "What do you mean? After Ragnarok?" It's so it's so aggravating.
It's hack, and that's okay.
Yeah. So that's the end of the first part. Oh, and then Klaus helps them flee to Egypt.
Okay.
The second part is the road to Calvary, which I'm sure that you know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Here, many years have passed, about 30, 33 to be precise. And Klaus has found himself in the service of Pontius Pilate, working as the leader, the commander of his centurions. I can't, like, there's this many pages of attempt to sort of like put a political spin on this to kind of make Pilate not be a bad guy or whatever, and basically like puts the blame on the Jewish high priest for, you know, arresting and condemning to death this prophet. Like, spoilers, it's Jesus. He's gonna get crucified.
Yeah, my God. I mean,
wow. It takes 20 pages to get there, and then the thing that happens is that he says it is finished. He expires, sort of. He's still alive though, and I guess suffering. So Klaus sticks him with the spear in the side, gets him in the heart, puts him out of his misery, and then telepathically Jesus is like, "Thanks, recognize me?" And Klaus is like, "Oh my God, you're the little baby that I saved 33 years ago. What a coincidence." But that's not all.
Oh my God.
After after that, he's walking in the city, and the city there's an earthquake that follows Jesus's death. And a building collapses on this woman who's screaming in pain. So Klaus goes and helps her, and he realizes he like gets her out, like a stone fell on her ankle and broke it, and she's like laying there, and he hauls her out of the wreckage. He realizes that she's a prostitute. She says that she used to work for Mary Magdalene until Mary Magdalene joined with Jesus.
Oh my God.
This is that also is inaccurate because Mary Magdalene wasn't actually a prostitute. It was a different Mary. Anyway, there's three because I guess they only had one name back then. But my broken foot, I cannot walk. Will thou not help me to my place? Not I, by Thor. He's really put off by the fact that she's a prostitute. He's like, you're unclean. Don't touch me. My perfect northernness would never. And gets really misogynistic for a minute, but then she's like, no, you don't understand. I used to be a prostitute, but I follow the master, capital M, referring to Jesus. And when they marched him to Calvary, he saw me watching him in the street, and he gave me the nod and was basically like, you're pure again. Don't worry about your past. And Klaus is like, oh, well, that makes sense. Then let's get married.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. So we've got a whole other part to go.
All right, just real quick, I want to say that this is without even getting to part 3. If anyone listening has not seen the Key and Peele Gremlins 2 writers' room sketch,
yeah,
this is the literary version of that, but just replace the Mogwai with Santa Claus. Go on.
Yeah, so the hardcover edition from Arkham House came out in 1948, but it was originally written and published in Weird Tales in 1938. So just to give you some context about when this was written, the third part is called The Long, Long Road. I apparently missed the whole road title thing. So but I'm still unclear as to why it's really so roady.
Grody is more like it, but go on.
Grody. So when they get married, Klaus renames his wife Una, and she is immortal for reasons I don't quite, they're just not explained. But the two of them go off and make war on behalf of Jesus. Basically, they serve in all the major military conflicts of their days. She passes as a boy or a man, cuts her hair, and so they're both warriors, a pair of warriors.
So she's a warrior now.
Yeah, fighting for Christ.
Okay.
And then they're sort of like, why is all this violence? He was a man of peace, blah, blah, blah. And then they're sort of like, wow, Europe has turned into like this awful place where everybody's poor and starving and sick. And they get to a city and everybody's poor. And they're just like, Klaus is like, I could carve little sleds. And we have all of these, we've made all this money because we're really good soldiers. So we have all these fruits and preserves. Like why don't we make little sleds out of wood, and we'll put little preserves and stuff in them, and we'll hand them, we'll like just leave them at the doors of all the poor children. And Una's like, that's a great idea. So they set to work. And then on Christmas Eve, they go and because he's Santa Claus. You get it? Do you get it yet?
It's burned into my brain.
Yeah. So, but twist, the city elders and the priests don't like this. Let me see if I can find it. It is truly this is when I came back around on the thing, because I was just like, oh, Santa Claus is being positioned as like the cure. Now, this is sort of deeply anti-Catholic, but at the same time, like if you could sort of divorce it from the anti-Catholic thing.
So you're saying that like Jesus didn't teach him the secret handshake that like gets them the pass, or like what?
Kind of. Let me see. So basically, the priests have a problem with this because
what? Like he's carving stuff and he's non-union. Like where are they going with this?
Basically, so it causes a tizzy. So the poor people are happy and slightly less miserable, and the people in charge are like, we can't have that. So this is what the elder priest says: "The poor we have with us always. Did not the blessed master say as much? I and wrathfully rebuke his disciples who would have had Mary Magdalene's ambrocation sold to buy bread for them? It is no work of merit to give bread unto the poor, if it were heaven's will that all men should be fed, when we should have no poor. But it is stated most explicitly that the poor we shall have with us always. It is the well-considered thought of this most revered company that it is little less than a defiance of divine purpose to alleviate their condition. If wise, all-seeing heaven had not willed them to be poor, they would not be so. But so decree their poverty. So their poverty is obviously by divine decree. Whoso maketh them less poor, even though it be by giving them no more than a dry crust, thwarts heaven's will, and is therefore no better than a contemptor of the holy gospel. And as all wizardry is a species of heresy, it follows, as the night the day, that heresy is also a form of witchcraft. And Holy Scripture saith expressly, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. So, accused of witchcraft for giving poor children presents, Klaus and his wife Una flee into the night and abandon Christendom. On the road, they meet the elves, who have also been driven from their gift-giving purpose by zealous, wrong-headed Catholics. And the two meet, and they basically forge an alliance to bring happiness to poor children everywhere. The end.
Well, fuck me, man.
I do have to. There's two things that I have to really quickly add. The illustration that involves the elves has one elf looking directly at the viewer with the craziest eyes I have ever seen in an illustration. Like he has read the story and he's sympathizing with you, and he's like, "Are you getting all of this?" The other thing is that there is no indication in the book that Klaus ever stops worshiping Thor and Odin. So, like, which I feel like is so weird, but whatever. Like, so yeah, there you go. The secret origin of Santa Claus. Witch, gladiator, warrior, barbarian. It's like Conan, except with like elves and slays at the end. He slays in more way than one.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, I got nothing. It's definitely interesting though when you hit that point, which is I think the most poignant part of it, and like realistic part of it, when the guys are like, oh well, listen, if God didn't want them to be poor, they wouldn't be poor. Like it's so unnecessarily cruel yet completely spot on for the current state of affairs. And
yeah, no, I was like, yeah, you go, Santa Claus. It was like real.
I'm suddenly on Team Santa, you know. It's I don't know. Here, wow. So that was that went to places I could never have imagined.
It was not a good book, but it is also kind of it is fairly well written. It is a little bit too over top with the these and the thines, but also like I finished it and I was like, that was really stupid. And it was like the book got up and did like the gladiator gif where it was just like, but were you not entertained? And I was just like, oh yeah, book, I was entertained. it was really dumb, but I I can't really argue
we love
with
B movies. Holy crap. Anyway.
Yeah, like I love a good bad movie, but I've so rarely found a good bad book. It was just it's wild, and just within the greater context of like the Arkham House, like it's off. It's just everybody. It's such a revered collection of publications in like the pulp world. Like, oh, Arkham House. Oh, you have almost all the Arkham House books. It's like, yeah, I even have the stupid one about Santa Claus. Everything is dumb. It's what I've learned this week.
Well, I don't really even have a final thought on that. What about you? You got a final thought on that?
Merry Christmas, I guess.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Yeah, it is available. Somebody has reprinted it a couple times, I think. I don't know how available it is, but there are editions that were printed in 2000. So if you are interested, and I'm sure there's an ebook version, so you could, and it's also a short read. I think it was 120 pages, maybe 110, and the print was pretty big.
I bet it flies by.
Yeah, worth it for the Virgil Finlay illustrations alone, which you'll see in the posts because they're great. But like Santa Claus in a gladiator helmet, and a half naked lady, and like a sword. It's like so
See,
ridiculous.
see the idea of like Santa as like this badass killer Viking dude. Like Santa's just such a funny thing when you are in the proximity of like little kids because like during the month of December, for like 3 quarters of the month, I would even dare say from like Thanksgiving on, you have the one thing that will stop a child clear in their tracks by being like, "Are you sure? You sure about that? You sure about
Yeah,
that?" Santa's watching, and then, whew, all right, it's like you're playing red light, green light, and immediately they go, "Okay, red light," and they stop. Like and that is just the idea of not getting gifts. I mean, imagine if they knew he was like a psycho killer.
yeah. Like he's not just got a sword; he's got an axe
An
too.
axe,
Like he's just
which to me, and I will even tie this into, thematically what our show is about, which is RPGs. Like to me, like a sword is, sword's deadly, sure, but like if you're fucking with an axe, you're telling everyone you mean business.
yeah,
And you definitely like, and if you have a double bladed axe, you're like, okay, uh, I didn't come here to have lunch,
yeah.
you
It's
know.
it's a lot. But I do this for you. I all of you. Yeah. You think that Appendix N is the beginning and the end of fantasy? Well, no. I regret to inform you that it is not. There is a wide, weird world of more stuff out there, and I'm looking forward to somebody adapting Roads into an RPG source book.
I'm shocked no one has done it already.
I don't think enough people know about it, but I'm going to popularize this thing. We're gonna have a Rhodes movie. It's gonna be great. We're gonna bring bloodbaths back to Christmas.
Yeah, I didn't even know how to follow it up, but I will say that a couple people I know and I care for dearly actually did launch crowdfunding campaigns in December because they're wild people, and I just want to just quick shout it out. We don't normally talk about 5e stuff here, but my friends over at Parallel Dimension Gaming, they're a new gaming company made of people who have been in the hobby for a long time. Really sweet, kind people. Been wonderful to me with projects I've worked on with them before for other companies, but they launched and they got like maybe there's like 2 days left of this by the time this episode drops, called The Sweetest Curse Adventure for 5e. Basically, you gotta save a place called Yuletown from becoming a perfect utopia where because of that things go wildly wrong. So it's pretty cool. The art's fun. It is written by Jess Zafaris, and I'm excited for them and their new company. So it's definitely worth checking out. ParallelDimensionGaming.com. You'll be able to find all the links there. My other friends over at Solarian Games, Jason, Peter, everybody, they're the ones that brought back Top Secret all those years ago. And now rechristened as Solarian Games for a bunch of years. They just dropped their Top Secret Tradecraft manual, which I think looks fantastic. I mean, they did a wonderful job on the box set all those years back, but now they have an actual like tradecraft manual, and they really, really go deep on the idea of like what a spy and what tradecraft and spy work can be in a tabletop RPG, and like it definitely does not scratch the surface. It goes deep. So that'll be probably like the last day will be the day after this airs because it drops on actually yeah, you got a few more days left on this. I don't even know what day it is when we record this, but Top Secret Tradecraft Manual, definitely worth checking out. Good stuff. If you like spy stuff, this is for you. My other thought is that this has been an amazing episode of the Vintage RPG Podcast, an amazing year for us. So thank you. Thank you to all our listeners. Thank you to the people who support us. Thank you to the patrons. Thank you to just everybody who is chilling the hobby, who lets people come to your gaming tables and have some fun. So we are truly grateful. We are going into our 9th year in 2026, which is insane when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like I've been doing this show with you, I would dare say longer than any band I'd ever been in. So This is a very, very long project for us, and we're grateful because we know there's a lot of you who've been there since day one, and we're equally as grateful to you, dear listener, who joined us yesterday. So thanks for listening. Stu, where can people find you on the internets?
They can find me at vintagerpg.com. No post forthcoming on roads. It's too much for me. I mean, you'll see some pictures associated with this, but that's it. Never again.
Very cool. You can find me at hameandeggpublishing.com, which has a link to our Etsy store. We got a sale going on right now for everything that Ham and Egg Publishing is putting out, except for the anthologies, because those are brand new. We got some real cool stuff over there. You can find me at John McGraw RPG on social media. If you like the show, don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Your reviews really do help other listeners to find us. If you really like the show, why not become a patron at patreon.com/vintagerpg. Early release episodes for as little as $1 a month, sometime between like Friday and Sunday, depending on when we record them in the week. We got a killer Discord community we'd love for you to be a part of. Stu's got a West of Marches campaign at the $10 tier. At the $10 tier, you could also get it at my ongoing 1-900-FANTASY play-by-email campaign, and you could also get it in that $5 tier as well. Patreon.com/vintagerpg. So for Stu Horvath, I'm John Hambone McGuire. May the dice always roll in your favor, and happy holidays. Take care. Thanks for listening. The Vintage RPG Podcast is a ham-fisted production. Music by Dead Go West. Art by Schaefer Brown. Edited by R. Alex Murray. Check us out at vintagerpg.com.